I don't
Hello.
even know about this part. Sorry.
Death. Anyway, welcome again to another episode of Gotham by Night. Today, our scene takes us to the Full Moon Sushi Bar. Been quite the hub of activity this past week here at this place. Nonetheless, Mr. Zillick has had a very rough week. That ag damage really hurts. So, Andrew, for this moment, does have a few leads to follow up, but like I said, he's had a real rough week. I mean, when you come to Gotham City and then, your ex wife just almost dies, you get shot, you get unconscious, and then you get given strange green trophies, life is just really not going very good for Mr. Zillick. So perhaps going to the Full Moon, which is known for its great selection of alcohol and beautiful eatery, would be the best choice for him. Lillian, in celebration of her recent, hire onto the Burlesque Club security, has now actually finds herself with a bit of money, something she hasn't done recently. So definitely a place for her to come out. And for those unknown, the Full Moon Sushi Bar and Restaurant is a great place for those who are not, shall we say, fully human, to go and have a little bit of peace in this chaotic city. Our scene now takes us to the Full Moon Sushi Bar, where Mr. Zillick and Miss Lillian are doing drinking, talking, eating, whatever they prefer. We now pan to that scene.
Now, just for a bit of bookkeeping, I was under the impression it was lethal, not ag.
Sorry, lethal. You are correct.
All right.
For whatever reason on my notes here, I had written ag, but you're right. It was a gun, and guns do lethal.
Now, heck, I'll spend off a Sadie, and I'll just assume he healed that up in his lair. Off it goes.
Indeed, if you wish to heal the old-fashioned way, or if you wish to heal speedily, it is your choice.
5 Sadie is... the middle one. I can't remember what the middle one is.
You're starting to get hungry.
I believe he's still sated, but either way. That was just bookkeeping. I'm not sure how we would actually start all this.
We will go ahead and, since Mr. Zillick has, like I said, been having a rough week, and Lillian is
Very
here,
true.
why don't we go ahead and have Creed enter, since he has not had a scene yet in Gotham, and this will be his intro scene.
Sure.
Creed,
thing.
why don't you tell them what they see when you walk in?
All right. So when Creed steps in, any eyes towards the door would see a roughly 6'4", 6'5", heavily muscularly built man, Caucasian with long blonde, dirty blonde hair, swept back, and a full beard. From the from the skin poking out around his shirt, Um, there are you can tell he's heavily tattooed. And what type of season is it right now? Is it fall, winter, spring, summer?
It is winter.
All right, so from the neck and the small portions of skin poking out between his from his jacket, you can tell he's heavily tattooed all the way from the neck. His hands are tattooed. You suspect down below's tattooed, but very, very heavily inked. Doesn't look like a mean guy, but definitely looks like the type of guy you don't want to get in trouble with.
You see this woman behind the bar look up as you enter, and she's like, "Oh, hey, hon. Go ahead and sit wherever you want."
Thank him. And he heads towards the back seat.
She comes over and she's like, "What can I get you?"
Just water for now.
Pours you a glass of water and sets it down. Let me know if there's anything else I can get you on.
He just gives a small nod.
Zillik, you want another refill?
Something caffeinated?
Of course. What would you like?
A cup of Joe's just fine.
Of course. Anything for you, Lillian?
I'm just still on the current drink.
Gotcha. Let me know. Oh, Lillian, congratulations on the job, by the way.
Thanks.
Andrew, as... Go, huh?
No, never mind. Keep going.
Andrew, as you're sitting down at the table, you hear another little broadcast about, Riddler stuff and whatnot. At this point, you've heard enough broadcasts, to last a lifetime at this point. But it's at this point that this woman walks in. She kind of looks around the area. She looks at Creed, looks at Lillian, looks at Andrew. Starts to kind of scan the area. And then immediately walks out. For those of you looking at her kind of on the edge, you can see that just as she leaves, she pulls out a phone before she disappears out the door.
Well, she wasn't putting off any particular vibes, was she?
Vibe of perception, maybe just kind of a thing looking around. Didn't seem hostile in any way, but a little bit off.
I meant supernaturally. Family resemblance and all that.
Yes, actually. Speaking of which, if you've got that going, Creed is dead. Rachel, you already know Rachel. Lillian, you know Lillian. The woman who walked in.
I don't think so.
No, he wouldn't know Lillian.
Oh, he wouldn't know Lillian?
Would,
okay, so...
He would, but he hasn't met her.
Right. Okay, so I'll say what you see then. With the woman that walked out, she gave off a very strange vibe, very similar to how Mr. Anthony gave off. Bird-like. A very shadowy, almost raven behind her when you saw her form.
Anthony.
That would be the owl.
My brain isn't working, apparently.
Indeed. It's all right. When you look at Lillian, what would you describe your supernatural self to be? What is he seeing when he looks at you?
The best way I can describe it would be a broken vase. Something irreparable, broken, damaged,
This is a
destroyed.
this is a very interesting sight for you, Mr. Zillick, because most supernatural things you look at have a form, some sort of solidity, whether it is a shadow of a beast, the dead, dull, pale, nothing glow of aura from the vampires, or whether it's your fellow kin, or maybe the bright, vibrant light of the Magi. Either way, this one's a bit different. Rather than having a suitable form or visage that you tend to see, this merely shows you almost a broken pattern. For example, if you were to look at a person and just see their form, you would see it. But when you look at her with that ability, you just see a shattered image, almost like you're trying to look at her through a mirror that has been cracked. This is the first time you have seen something like that.
Well, nothing like new neighbors, I suppose.
Mistress Tatiana can enter whenever she wishes. The group is currently at the Full Moon Sushi Bar.
I mean, what would I be doing there?
Well, as of recently, there has been a lot more gang activity in this area. Not to mention, you did see one of your hirees goes there for lunch now that she actually has some money. So far, Miss Lillian has been doing a pretty decent job. She hasn't really had to do any sort of challenging things yet, but she hasn't lit the place on fire.
And it's not like I'm not unskilled in any area anyway.
Indeed, and she's been doing her job.
See, that's why I'm asking what this happened, because I don't see any reason for my character to be in a sushi bar.
Well, to be honest, you would get a text.
Oh boy.
After seeing some of the rolls I just did here, you would get a text saying that your Tatiana, I'll go ahead and send it to you just to give the suspense.
Would it be from Andrew?
No, it's from an NPC.
Andrew may have texted her anyway.
I mean, yeah, Andrew has been pretty quiet and weird.
Yeah, he'd probably send a text at some point.
Go ahead. So, Mistress Tatiana, you'll get two texts. The first one you'll get is from Andrew. That one will come soon after.
What does Andrew's text say?
It is a... I'd almost want to say polite, but knowing what she knows about Andrew, it's probably closer to hopeful. It would be a request that she meet him for a bit of food and maybe a drink.
Yeah, what he would think on that, he presumes too much. This is a professional setting here, but she can't really shut him down via text, because that wouldn't be a very polite thing to do. And after she received the second text, she will reply that yes, we can talk at the sushi bar, and she will make her way there.
Well, when she walks in.
Hold on, she hasn't walked in yet.
Okay.
Before she does, Creed, Lillian, and Andrew, would you make me perception rolls, wits plus composure, or if you have another skill that does that, please roll that.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the weather it's of course night, and it's pouring rain, as it always is, at least at this particular time in Gotham.
Two successes.
Eights, nines, and tens succeed. It's definitely two. Are you specialized, Lillian?
No.
Okay.
That's just my combined wits plus composure.
How'd you get tens to reroll on this?
I believe Scottish Fiona had a formula too that I didn't. I haven't gotten yet.
What are you trying to get to reroll?
Tens.
Just put an exclamation mark after the 10.
Alright. I'll just have to do that next time. I'll just roll those again.
Holy crap.
I know, right?
Oh, no!
How?
No, hold on, time out. This is the reason why I wanted you guys to start rolling. I actually don't have you reroll tens. I just have tens count as the additional hits.
Okay.
Keep the dice pool from getting crazy. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, fuck.
What the fuck?
Yeah, 8 hits. 8 hits. Look at that perception check. Holy shit.
That's a crit success right there.
That's two crits together, man.
I only have 3.
Well, I have something special for that then. But as for Lynn and Andrew, let me check their rolls real quick.
Oh, I'm rolling something?
Perception.
Perception, wits plus composure. Or whatever other perception you wish to roll.
Wits and composure is fine. Oh boy.
Andrew sees his feet.
Should I take a dramatic failure just for the fun of it?
I mean, if you want to beat.
I do have a specific idea for it, though.
If you have a specific idea, I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
Mostly, once Andrew sends the text, he becomes very focused. He is staring at his phone, waiting for a reply. So much so that he's literally just not paying attention. He's just staring at the phone.
Huh. I'll have something for that later. For the rest of this session, take a -2 to initiative, and I'll give you that beat.
Fair enough.
All right. Lillian, you notice a couple kind of unsavory looking characters in nice suits kind of come into the sushi bar, and they go and sit down at a table over in the corner. Wearing some very nice, pinstripe uniforms. As for Creed, you see a lot of things. You know that the two sitting at the table not too far from you are not human. You can tell because in all of your experience with the dead and the undead and whatnot, you know what a human is. But these two do not smell, sound, or even move quite like normal humans do. And you've been around the supernatural world long enough to know that they are not human, whatever these two things are. You don't know what, but you know that they're not human. You also notice that Mr. Andrew received a text, and you were actually able to walk by and even see the name on it. Tatiana.
Oh,
That is a
shit.
name you know.
Unfortunately, so.
Creed, you can also hear, since that was 8 hits, the men over at the corner sitting and talking. You can hear a little bit about their conversation, even though you're quite far away. So, do we do it now or do we wait? Let's wait and see what happens. Did you actually remember to turn the safety off this time? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, good.
I'm going to. Well, this person seems to be a friend with Tatiana. Is definitely not human. So I'm just going to sit down next to Andrew at the bar and go. So, I see we have a friend in common. Anyways, don't suppose either of you two know how to fight, because there's about to be a stick up here.
And Andrew kind of peers over at the stranger. Is that a threat?
Nah, man. You don't get me. You don't get me at all. I ain't the one doing the stick up. I certainly won't be doing it with whoever you two are around. Tweedledee over there, but seem to be well planning something rather stupid.
It's at this point that you all notice about another 4 or 5 men enter the bar, all with also fairly nice pinstripe suits. However, Lillian, you recognize a couple of these guys. And I don't know if you have a self-control for this, but you know who they are. These are members of Penguin's gang.
If you look over to Lillian, you could see the bear's little smolder in her eyes. Something about the men has caught her attention, and she's definitely grasping at the cup pretty hard.
The 4 men who have walked in are not quite as good dressed as the other two, but similar outfits. And they are all holding baseball bats and or tire irons or brass knuckles and chains and or interesting implements. And they look over at Lillian and Andrew. They say, well, looky what we got here, boys. We got us our Corey and we got a cop. This night's just turning into a fun time. Looks like you got fucked up over there, Andrew.
Oh, goody. They know my name. Wonderful. Well, let's see.
And Creed's going to start shying away because he just heard that the person he tried talking to was a cop.
For now. Let's see. Oh, wait.
Actually, Creed,
Oh, you have no idea.
Just a out of character declaration. Yes, there's going to be some combat. I
All
figure
right. Andrew.
I figure I could take
Andrew-
the I could get the new people introduced to the combat system here. So,
Can Andrew catch the eyes of one of them?
in other words, you want to try and get his attention.
No, just meet his eyes.
There's actually a roll for that. There is actually a roll for that. Go ahead and roll me a.
Okay, the guy who looked at Andrew and said his name. Can he
Oh,
meet
okay.
his gaze?
Yeah. He'll be pretty easy to.
Wonderful. If he may roll his resolve plus a supernatural tolerance, if he has one.
Okay.
I will roll wits and satiety, and we'll see what happens. 3, 5.
This guy's actually got a decent wits. Holy shit.
His resolve, not his
And
wits.
they don't have to be smart in order to survive on the street. They just have to know when to not pull in.
Huh. Ironically, his resolve is the exact same number.
No.
Doesn't matter. So, what are you doing, Mr. Andrew Zillick? Andrew, you are muted.
Yep, just typing everything out. I didn't want
Okay.
typing sounds, and it's not a high satiety. What does this do if I spend satiety? What does that do? Fun.
This is why I have a little bit of combat to get all the kinks out. It's all right.
I forgot what it's satiety. So it's expenditure on this does. Yes, he will spend. Sure, he will spend 2 satiety on this, which is a bit of a waste, but he'll get a beat because it plays into sated. He's using satiety when he really doesn't have to. So he'll spend 2. And let's see what the results are. A single success. Well, that sucks. Although I see he didn't get any.
So, what are you doing to him?
Out of character, Andrew is using a nightmare that is titled You Cannot Run. The normal effect would be that his speed is halved, and he will suffer a -2 penalty on any action that is not related to hiding or avoiding notice. Because Andrew spent satiety on this, however, he will gain the Fogue condition with the triggering event being acknowledged by another person.
To answer your question on removing names, I have no idea how to remove the name tags. Either way,
From the place
Um,
you choose how the names appear, on the bottom there is a thing that you can click that removes the name. Not there on the sidebar, where there are the banners and the comments and the other shit.
I'm not seeing it.
Did you go through all the tabs?
Remove the name tags.
Fogue,
Yeah.
Fugue. I'm not exactly
There's nothing for name tags.
And yes, Andrew is very good at making people stand still. Or other things.
So the guy who you cast the nightmare on, he is going to stop. His eyes are going to go wide. And he's going to kind of step back a bit. He's going to be like, fuck it, kill that bitch. And he points over to Lillian. He's like, who gives a shit about him?
You shouldn't have come here.
There we go. Sorry for that.
So he is basically effed up. The other guys kind of look over and kind of look back from their guy to Lillian and Andrew, and then they start walking over towards Lillian with the bats and just ignoring everyone else.
I'm going to stand up at this point and try to.
I'm really gonna go ahead, Creed.
Go ahead, Lillian, declare what you're going to do, then Creed, and then I'll have everyone roll initiative, and then I'll have Tatiana and Watcher come in.
Are they close enough for a melee lash?
When they walk up to you, yeah, they eventually get within range.
No hesitation or fear. One of them's getting a lash to the face.
Okay. Their defense is 2.
So that removes my specialty. That still gives me about 4. That's 8. That's 8 dice.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
Three successes, and it's only like what? Base is 0.
On
But
a
it's all
lash
lethal.
base, yep, base is 0. You need 1, so that's 2. That's going to be 2 lethal. Describe to the other players what they see.
What happens is as soon as one of them gets close, a sort of milky white substance starts leaking from one of her sleeves, and it starts forming into a pretty sharp-looking sword, which she then cuts at the face at one of the thugs.
He reels back oh, and he goes in, and then of course Creed, you may make your declaration. Then I'm going to have everyone roll initiative.
Well, Creed was standing up, going, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and then just kind of sighed and sat back down as the shot as first blood was drawn before he could smooth things over.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn metas.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Everyone roll initiative. I had a massive yawn there.
I would have
It's a
6, 7.
D10 plus
1d10 plus your initiative.
minus 2 because of the thing.
Hmm.
That would be a 6.
Yep, just a moment. Scan everyone down. So we got a 10, we got a 15, we got a 6. I'll roll for the bad guys. 14.
Oh. Oh.
Mistress Tatiana can roll as well.
But I'm not even there yet.
You've literally just arrived on scene. So,
And my people?
yeah, I'll say you got your 2 bodyguards with you.
Well, I always have it with me. Fuck. Okay, initiative. I got an 11.
All right. So, Creed, what is your dex?
2.
Okay, so Cosmic Weevil will go first.
Oh, and I think that Thug may have to roll a stamina check.
Four. Oh, for the thing?
Yeah, for transmissible.
Gotcha. 11. Thugs. Sorry, getting initiative order hammered out here. Okay, got the initiative order up. Otto is first up.
Okay. Otto will round the corner, stuffing his phone into his pocket. That neutral expression that he always seems to wear is still present, though his pace is quickened. He arrives on scene, and if they seem to be quite preoccupied with the fact that one of their men, is being rather freaked out. Who knows why? Doesn't matter. Efficiency is what's needed, and Otto will go up to the closest hostile and attempt to break in their kneecaps, causing the leg rack.
Okay. So this will be a targeted shot, so that's a -2 to the total dice pool. Their defense is 2. However, they were not aware of Otto's presence, so I will not count the defense minus, so it's just a simple -2.
Okay. Otto gets bonuses due to things.
Yes, vigor. He has 3
Yes,
dots
he
of vigor.
does. That is very correct. I will roll that now. Um, Now, Otto can spend blood to. Oh, this is if it hits, he can spend blood to just up the damage, I believe.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's how that works. Difficulty equals 8. I don't have to do F1, so that's good. He will be spending blood. Otherwise, that would have been a higher dice pool. So that is 4 successes as 3 blood. Okay, so he walks up to this individual, takes him by the shoulder, spins him around, looks him in the eyes, but no, he's not going to command him to do anything. He'll let the body do that for him. He, without any sign of mercy or remorse, will take his foot and allow the vitae to flow into the tendons, strengthen them with undead vigor, puns, and bring it down with alarming strength, crushing the kneecap and causing the bone to kind of go backwards, split out of the skin, and kind of have the kneecap facing the wrong direction.
Okay, he immediately goes down and lets out a scream. Falls onto his butt.
Otto will fix his collar.
Does Otto wish to use any extra stuff for celerity?
Does he indeed? I think he will. I think that he will use his celerity action. But celerity action, I believe, comes at the end of the round.
You are correct. Creed, you're up next.
Let me see.
It's also at this
Yeah.
point, because you are both vampires, you are very aware that the man who just rushed into the bar and broke that guy's knee is clearly a vampire.
Yeah. Do I see Tatiana walk in?
No, but you can hear some heels on the outside.
I'm going to sigh and hold my action.
Gonna hold action. Okay.
Yeah.
Thugs are gonna go. Well, the thugs are now divided. They have something happening behind them, and now they have something happening in front of them. So the one who got attacked by Lillian will try to retaliate by smacking her with a baseball bat. What is Lillian's defense?
6.
Okay. He rolls 1d10. Fails. The other guy is going to try and strike Lillian with a baseball bat. He also fails. One guy will turn and try to strike Otto with a thing of what looks like a crowbar. What is Otto's defense? Oh, yeah, so he's going to be rolling 1d10.
What is he doing with the crowbar? Sorry.
He's trying to whack Otto, and he fails.
He's
Okay.
doing something very, very different with the crowbar.
So the 2 thugs try to attack Lillian and fail. The thug who tries to attack Otto fails. The other goons are going to stand up and pull their guns. One of them is going to shoot at Otto. Luckily, Otto gets defense due to celerity, even though it's a firearm. And the other is going to shoot at Lillian. Does Lillian have any particular defense against firearms?
I don't know, but well, I don't think 4 armor counts for anything against the roll.
It does, actually. In Nuwad, typically you don't get your defense against firearms. You need to have some sort of supernatural power or armor to do so. What is your armor rating?
My armor rating is 4, thanks to
Right.
Carapace.
Okay, so you will actually get a defense pool of 4 against firearms, which is really nice. So he is rolling 1 dice. So the guy who attacks Otto will have 2 dice. The guy who is attacking Lillian will have 1 dice. So let's do Lillian first. Misses. Let's try Otto. Misses. So, due to Otto's rather supernatural speed, the man pulls out the gun and tries to hit Otto, but vampires don't move at the speed humans do. As for Lillian, you are indeed struck. However, well, that tickled a bit.
Hey, I'm partially made of metal. What do you want from me?
Alrighty, that's all for the thugs. So it's Tatiana and her guards' turn to arrive.
This is gonna be funny. Because Tatiana was not prepared for a fight. So she's walking behind the 2 men, you know, with her little fur and whatnot.
Gotta look stylish while kicking ass, I guess.
Well, yeah, so what's the closest thing I see?
Closest thing to you would probably be the guy who just tried to shoot Otto as you walked in.
And how close, and does he know I'm there? Probably.
Well, now he does since you just walked through the door, yeah. And your bodyguards are in front of you.
Yeah, and
As
I'm
she looks
assuming.
around, you just hear, see the big guy Creed, where mouth, not my fault.
Yeah, her eyes will go big when she sees Creed, and she will try to ignore it for now. I'm assuming the guards are with arms drawn.
Yes.
Hmm. I could try and disarm the guy that tried to shoot Otto.
You wish to go for a disarm action? Okay.
Yes, that's a grab, right?
Yeah, that's actually a maneuver. Go ahead and roll me your combat pool -2. You will need it. You will need at least 2 successes to do a
That
disarm.
would be Dex Brawl, right?
Yes, actually, my mistake. You don't take a minus to it. You just need at least 2 successes.
Okay. Whew. Well, here goes nothing. Oh, damn!
Very nice. So yeah, how do you want to disarm him?
Well, first of all, I'm going to take my little fair and like point it backwards, like I have no time for this shit, kind of thing. And then I'll walk towards the guy. I'm going to poke his shoulder, and as he turns around, I will quickly grab his gun or whatever firearm he's holding and yank it out of him.
All right. I'm going to declare your guards are going to take the guys who are coming on the outside now. So I'll go ahead and do that combat separately. And it is Lillian's turn.
So you know that guy that got a sword to the face? Get another one.
Okay.
Does Lillian want a bonus on this roll?
Turns out apparently I don't get the specialty on my attacks.
Yeah,
No.
he asked
Sure.
a good question.
Just a bonus.
Does Lillian want a bonus?
Yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind it.
All right. If Lillian wants to gain spooked by Andrew because of how scary he is at low satiety, she may add 2 dice to her roll for the scene, for whatever this she's doing.
Very nice.
Flavor-wise, I don't think Lillian's going to take this book. She's too focused on her anger.
Too focused, too angry. You got it.
Up to you.
Holy shit. Fuck. Hold on. Let me check some here. I say this was the guy who already got hit.
Yeah.
The dice gods are favoring us tonight.
How do you want to do this?
I'm just going to gut him like a fish where he stands. Take the Nanoforge sword and just stomach slash, spraying his guts all over the floor. No need for subtlety. They deserve everything they get.
He kind of just looks down at his guts as they're coming out, and he tries to, like, very slowly push them back in. And he just, like, as he's falling, he's trying to just put his guts in. His eyes just go kind of blank, and he just slowly starts to die on his feet as he's trying to shove his guts back into his body, and he just falls over. Andrew.
Let that be a lesson.
That was brutal. Goodness. Yes.
What do you wish to do, Mr. Zillick?
Well, what is that? 2 times layer dots in yards. I guess Andrew's going to keep it simple for now. He is very hungry now, after all. Summoning his horror and then stirring it to do what it did took a little bit more out of him than he expected. So he wants a snack. So he's going to attempt to capture one of these thugs. And he's going to use Caught in the Webs to do it.
Okay, due to Andrew, you're going to feel a small outside presence. It starts off like a simple clicking. Clack, 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 clack. Like something walking over kind of a clickety-clack of small legs over a hard surface. Andrew, you will take no minuses to this roll. You will be getting an additional 2 dice. Go ahead and roll.
Dex, athletics. 7, huh? Okay.
Also, it's at this point that all of you hear a very, very loud growl come from the back of the sushi bar, like way in the back. And you can all now hear screaming coming from the outside, probably back around a couple alleyways behind the bar.
Well, I can see where all the luck is going. That was only a single success.
Still a hit. The rain is so loud it's difficult to hear the other screaming and whatnot, but there is clearly something happening behind the bar. Also, there are a few gunshots that come from Tatiana's men from the front. So, Andrew, what happens to the guy? Or
Well, if anyone has supernatural senses, they might see what looks like ghostly chains and other restraints materialize from something and then rush forward toward one of the thugs, wrapping them up.
I'm going to say it's the thug that you have spooked.
I do believe Andrew would ignore him because he's
Okay.
harmless.
Okay, so you'll go for the other guy who was currently turned around and tried to melee Otto, who has his back to you now.
So he will lose temporarily 2 dots of dexterity.
Mhm.
If that drops him to 0, he is immobile. And
Okay.
if he struggles, it will automatically inflict bashing equal to the current penalty. So he will take 2 bashing every time he takes an action.
You will take 2 bashing. The vampire celerity actions now. So we will do Otto, then Tatiana, and then we will go back to Otto again. So celerity actions.
Okay. So he is confident that he is able to deal with these men. He is unsure as to the growling. So with this supernatural speed, I'm going to have him use that 1 dot in Auspex Beast Hackles to ask a question, if I succeed, of course, of who here is the biggest threat to me?
In terms of enemies or in terms of everyone?
Enemies.
In terms of enemies, probably the guy.
I'd have to roll though.
Go ahead.
Oh, he also gains shaken because of Terror's friend, now that I think of it.
So that's 3 successes. So that means. Okay, yeah. So 1 question, and that question is what I said before.
The biggest threat in terms of enemies is probably the guy who is now pulling out the shotgun.
Not the growling. Interesting.
Well, you said enemies.
Yes, I did.
Mhm.
So he's going to find that quite peculiar. That is going to be his celerity action.
Okay. Tatiana.
Can I use discipline as a celerity action? Or the
Otto just did.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, you can. Mhm.
Well, what I want to do is the guy which I just disarmed, I want to mesmerize him.
Okay, roll your dice pool because he's only going to have 2.
Yeah, 1 sec. 2 plus 2. What else was there? 2 plus 1.
All you will need is 1 hit.
Well, let's hope.
Trying out your fancy domination powers.
Well, I only got 1.
That's enough. He got none.
So
So
I'm
he's
going
mesmerized.
Yeah, I'm going to look at him. I'm going to tell him, you lay down and you wait.
Do you want him to
That's
lay down
it.
on his back or on his chest?
Does it matter?
Well, he just lays down. They're mindless in this state.
Okay. So I'll say he lays chest down. Back up to the top with Otto, doing his normal actions now.
How many threats are there visibly right now?
Visibly now, 1, and he is engaged in melee combat with Lillian. Although he's starting to kind of reconsider with the fact that she literally just pulled out a sword out of nowhere and sliced a guy open, and the guy's guts went everywhere.
And the other one is scared, and the other one's on the ground.
One of them is paralyzed with fear. One of them is on the ground. One of them appears to be restrained by some invisible force. And the other one appears to be thinking twice about trying to fight Lillian.
Cool. Otto's going to go up to the one that's trying to fight Lillian and grapple him. Do no damage, but doesn't want him to get away. He was fighting Lillian. He's going to get Lillian.
Right, he's engaged in combat, so his defense is 1. So roll your combat melee pool -1.
Sure. And because I am not going to be spending my blood points to deal damage to him, I am going to just have the persistent effect to increase my natural strength.
Yeah, and that lasts for the scene. And actually, Vigor can do that naturally if you spend a bullet point. So,
Oh, okay, there you go.
yeah, spend a blood point on Vigor. You will get an additional 3 dice to strength for all actions that involve strength.
Fantastic. Okay, so I do this. 2 successes. Interesting.
Yeah, you got him.
Cool. He's grappled. And that just neutral expression on his face, he might even be soulless or heavily jaded to conflict, but he wraps around his vice-like arms around this man who seems to be regretting his decision. He, apart from him grappling him, doesn't acknowledge him and instead looks at this woman and says, "Finish it." And that's going to be his turn.
Creed.
Watching all of this, I don't know anyone who's who, what side's what. All I know is my sis, and they all seem to have this all very well cleaned up. So I'm just going to give them all a slow clap, as they've done very nicely on this.
Thugs are going to go, and they're going to do nothing. Tatiana?
So they're all pretty much incapacitated or subdued.
Or not doing
right?
it. Yeah, they're all either dead or subdued or doing nothing.
Then I will just sigh and wait for my guards to get back in. After
Guards
I've
come
dealt
back
with
in.
the others. I'm gonna look
Uh,
around.
I'll let you know what you see in a sec. Lillian, it's your turn.
Fatality.
You're muted if you didn't know.
Well, 2 things I want to do. 1, interrogate this person, and 2, kill them. So I'm just
Okay,
going to
so
do...
all right, so we'll do the interrogation afterwards then, because that's obviously going to take longer than 3 seconds. Andrew, last thing you want to do on the last initiative order?
Mostly he's enjoying the fact that he scared one of them into
The one in the middle is just staring very blankly up at the ceiling.
yeah, he's gonna bind him up too. Why not?
Okay. So you just continue feeding. So for all intents and purposes, combat is now over.
I guess
Well-
Otto will speak out loud. Someone should have a look at why there is some growling. Doesn't sit well with me. Andrew, you'd do that for me, wouldn't you?
I
Mr.
would.
Otto, I don't think you
I
should be
wonder-
worried.
I don't know what
Well-
this variable is. I don't like that.
Well, you have to do is ask, and I'll tell you.
What is it?
It's probably a werewolf.
By the way, for all those who were listening, the screams and the combat on the outside has died. All anyone can hear now is the pouring of the rain on the roof.
Andrew, I'm not going to ask again.
Nope. Nope, that's fine. Hopefully it's them. Hopefully it's the owner, and he steps toward the back.
Tatiana raises an eyebrow at that. Like, why is Otto like shouting commands at Andrew like that?
Yeah,
That's
she
what
didn't.
she's thinking.
Hmm.
No idea.
Mental note.
And Creed is slow clapping.
Creed slow clapped and said, "Well, that was certainly entertaining."
By the way, Otto can tell. All the vampires can tell that they are vampires in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an instinctive thing.
Mhm.
Was Creed hiding or something?
No, it
Creed,
seemed like he was holding his action for something.
Creed was just sitting on at the bar watching all this.
Mm,
I'm getting a very Captain Jack vibe from all this. He's just sitting in the middle of the
Literally,
chaos,
Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
just watching it all go down. He's like, "Bravo!"
Honestly, if he could drink, have been drinking a beer and hold up his glass to you guys.
mm.
So Lillian's going to take her nanoforged blade and put it up to the throat of the one thug that's been grappled. So, Penguin sent you.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted us to tie up a loose end. You're a loose end. So, yeah.
Last I checked, I wasn't so much a loose end as a prize.
Well, you disappeared and he didn't want to take any chances. Yeah, I'm just doing my job,
The question shouldn't be who, that. It should be why you guys were meeting here in the first place.
What do you mean?
I can probably easily tell you why they were here. Me.
No. You see, I gestured to the first two that came in. Party A was meeting with Party B. They weren't exactly, they aren't exactly the same gangs.
Well, look, we had a little bit of help, okay? Yeah, we were trying to find you and we found you. What do you want?
Can I roll a wits plus empathy? Yeah. And I have a specialty in lies, so
Go ahead and roll it.
Otto's going to look at Lillian. Is there murder in her eyes? This hate, this spite? Is it obvious that she's going to kill him?
Yes. She already killed one.
Right.
By the way, you also see her eyes not glowing, but you can they don't look normal. They're kind of almost embering, I guess would be a good term.
2 successes.
He's telling the truth.
Oh, so they were here to find her.
My dear, I understand you're angry and you want answers.
Answers close. Think of it more along the lines of a long overweighted vengeance.
Right. Well, let's focus on the answer bit first, shall we? And then Otto is going to turn the man around and dominate him.
Okay. Due to outside forces, he will get no resistance to this, so Otto will automatically succeed.
All right, he's mesmerized. You will be calm and compliant to the commands of me until I say otherwise.
I will be calm and compliant to the commands you say until you say otherwise.
Good. And then he's going to ungrapple him. Now that you are easier to handle, going to look over the others. What questions do you have for him?
Yeah, Tatiana has one guy mesmerized as well. You have that guy, and then there's the guy in the middle who's just standing at the ceiling, not knowing what the hell to do. And the other guy who's currently been grappled has passed out and seems to be getting. He's laying on the ground now.
And there's a guy with like half a leg.
Oh, yeah, and of course
He's
there's the
probably
guy who fell
also
on the
passed
ground.
out.
Yeah, he's kind of lost a lot of blood because you didn't just snap his leg; you almost broke his leg in half. He's losing a lot from his femoral artery.
Oh dear.
And the final one who's just straight up dead on the floor with their guts all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel won't be very happy.
To be fair, Lillian, he did have a lot of guts trying to take you on. Now he doesn't have too many guts. Going for the scene, panning over to Andrew, who has now gone to the back and is looking. Andrew, are you there?
Yes.
You proceed to the back of the bar and through down a little bit of a narrow hallway and back through the kitchen area where you can see a lot of implements and whatnot. You notice out of the knife rack, this very elaborate and well-designed knife rack that has the shape of a wolf's head opening its maw, and all of the knives are kind of in like this really cool circular arrangement that's in one of the typical knife holders you see in most kitchens. You see that one of the knives has been taken from its area.
No, he's not touching any of that.
You continue on and you come to kind of the back storage area room, and you can see a little bit of blood on the floor. There seems to be a small trail going out the back door, which is open, and you can see the rain and a little bit of gust of water come in.
Well, he is going to have a peek, at least.
You slowly peek outside the door. It's very rainy in the alleyway. However, it's very well lit due to the neon signs of the 2025 technology. You hear a couple cars fly overhead. And you look around in the alleyways. Roll me 2 rolls, please. First roll is a wits plus composure. The second roll is a dex plus stealth. As you look around, it's fairly empty out in the alleyway. At least down this particular path, anyway. So go ahead and roll me your dex plus stealth, and I'll tell you what you see. Okay.
So that would
Proceed.
have been 3 successes for perception and 2 for stealth.
Proceed on down the alleyway. You take a look around the corner where a dead-end T-section happens. And it's there you see the bodies. About 3, possibly once men, torn asunder. One of the bodies has been ripped in half. One of the bodies has had its head almost completely maybe ripped or bitten off. And the other one looks as if though he, was disemboweled and then eaten. There are 2 other bodies further down the alleyway. One of them is just lying down on the ground with no injuries on him whatsoever. The final body is displayed. When a person sees something that is horrifying, oftentimes a person relates it to a movie or piece of media they may have seen. The body you see is attached in a T-pose, so to speak. It's being suspended between the two buildings of the alleyway on a massive spider web. The man's guts dangling out from him.
Well, Andrew may not know much about werewolves, but this is very out of the ordinary. The screaming only went on about as long as they were inside, which couldn't have been more than a minute or two. So he does that thing where he looks backwards.
Do you look behind you?
Behind him? I imagine he would with a nice 3 perception.
Not more than 3 inches from your face, you see this woman peering at you.
A good evening to you.
Good evening to you too. She looks up at the web and says, oh my. Oh, dear. Did you do all this?
No, I was about to find out who did.
Oh my, it's not something you see every day.
We all have talents. Yes.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that a young defenseless woman like me has a good strapping young man to watch my back. Do you know what happened here?
What is she?
When you look at her with the sight,
Of sorts.
you see a very shadowy figure, much like the other Farah that you've seen. You see 8 long legs protrude from her back, and a very large bulbous body appear from behind her as well. 8 luminescent red eyes stare back at you.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were like me.
Oh, not quite like you. I am no daughter of Eve.
Cousins are cousins, though.
Pleasure to meet you, cousin. My name is Devora Mascreen.
And
She holds out her hand to shake. Do you
Sure.
shake her hand?
he'll shake her hand.
Okay. As you, before I go into what happens, all of you who have dirty minds, shut up. As you pull your hand away, it's a bit sticky. You kind of have to give it a little, and you look at your hand and you can see webbing. And she says, "Oh, sorry about that," and she starts wiping it on her jean pants.
I have a sneaking suspicion I'm about to see more of you here in a second.
What makes you say that? You hear a crunch sound come from around the other alleyway where you didn't check out. And she says, "Oh, Rachel, dear, are you done with that one yet?" You hear a long pause, and you hear another sound, and then you hear a little bit of chewing. And then you hear from the alleyway, "Just a minute, dear. One of them's running."
Well,
Devore kind of looks back and she says, "All right, then. You go enjoy your hunt. I'll take things up here. I take it shop is closed?" "Yes, dear, if you would." Devora turns her attention back to you.
Andrew felt that. Family dinner's a thing. No hunt, but if she was feeding, that would be enough for one point.
Uh-huh.
I have a sneaking suspicion that looking back is going to be redundant at this point.
Well, I mean, it does look like an interesting display, doesn't it? What did you think?
A little permanent for my tastes.
Hmm.
I suppose you could say that I do enjoy the keeping, the having. Not
The
so much
webs-
eating.
The webs up that were holding the man start to dissolve, and he falls down to the ground from about a good 3 stories, and just lands on the ground with a crunch.
Oh, that's a bit of a waste. Well, time to inform my new boss, I guess.
You don't wish to inform the police?
And tell them what? They have another alleyway to clean up?
There won't be any cleanup necessary here.
No, I didn't think so. Especially not with... I don't know if they have a pack around here, now that I think of it.
No, I need to have my friends clean up. Don't worry, they do their job.
Besides, I do have questions for the odd one.
It's at this point that you can see some black shadows start to move over the alleyway. But when you look closer, you see that they're not shadows at all. They're hundreds upon hundreds of small spiders.
Well, he's going to step inside before this gets any more interesting.
Do you need me to come in with you?
I guess my boss would like to know what all the screaming was about.
Oh, that was mostly Rachel, not me.
I had a feeling. I don't know much about the wolves, but that sort of screaming would pair off with what they do pretty well.
Very well. Lead the way then. So as you two are walking back inside, everyone sees Andrew come back inside with this woman at his heels, and we will start the scene on the inside. Since you guys have been waiting, let's go ahead and start with Lillian, if she wishes to say or do anything.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to at least see if he's got any major operations in this area. That penguin.
Answer the nice young lady. Truthfully.
Yeah, we're trying to open another club, kind of like the Iceberg Lounge. So we've
And
been trying to move. We've been trying to move in on the Scarecrow.
And where is this club exactly?
Sounds like something came up IRL for him.
Sorry, I'm back.
Oh.
What was asked after he said we're trying to move in on the Scarecrows?
Where is this new club?
Oh, down over there on the new renovation site. They're trying to demolish the old building. We're going to replace it with a new one. Took a little while because Gotham City doesn't like demolishing its old structures. There's a bit of a the deed deal or whatever, yeah, where Penguin had to fight some other guy over the deed to the property. Got all pissed off. Something that belonged to a woman named Pamela or something. Eventually the boss won it over. All I remember is she wasn't too happy. We're going to destroy the building tomorrow. A lot of plant life on it. Had to do a little bit of renovation, but that's where we're putting the new club. We've been doing some scouting work here to try and get rid of the scarecrows since they've been getting sloppy. Anything else you want to know?
Anyone important at the demolition of the site?
Yeah, Penguin's second in command will be there.
What is the second in command's name?
Hired this new fella not too long ago. Rose through the ranks like crazy. Most of us don't like him, but he's tough, so Penguins keeps him around. He also does a good job of keeping our secret weapon under control.
What is your secret weapon?
Born on a Monday. That's all he says.
What did he say? Born on a Monday?
Born on a Monday. He didn't say Monday with the M-O-N expression. He said it more of a Monday.
Ah.
Question. Would we in character know anything about that?
Would you
Not
like
a
us to
sing-
roll?
There is
anything?
literally only one person here who would know anything about that.
Unless Andrew read the poem a long time ago, but
Well, seeing as Otto is an advocate and he deals in information, and that's why I asked. I don't know if that's something that he would know.
This Otto would actually not know much about this in particular because it's only been a recent faction for Penguin's gang.
Would a guy who has underworld connections?
The only person here who would know anything about what this could mean is Lillian.
So you're saying I would know this particular devoted?
Yes.
Damn it, Solomon.
Seems like you know about this secret weapon.
Similarly broken.
I would love. Love is not the right word. I would appreciate a private conversation with you a little later if you wouldn't mind. I consider it a payback for me allowing you to deal with this one easier. Get the answers you wanted.
Very much.
Any more information that we'd like out of this one?
You guys might want to get the second in command's name. You hadn't gotten that yet.
Oh yeah, his name. Oh yeah,
I did ask for it.
they call him number 2.
Number 2. What
Number
do they
2.
look like?
Big fella. Sunglasses. Wears a nice suit. You ever see that movie, The Matrix?
Yes.
Looks a lot like Agent Smith.
Hmm. Very pale.
No, he's got color.
Hmm. You've been a tremendous help. What was your name?
Oh, my name's Yvonne.
Ivan. If this young lady would be open to this idea of mine, I believe we can all get what we want. You, a good soldier. This young lady will be able to have peace of mind, let's say. And I get what I want.
Oh, well, that sounds nice.
Yes, doesn't it? And then he will turn to look at the young woman. Which is Lillian.
Right. What are you planning?
I believe this man and anyone with working legs, my bad on the other one, can be of, well, they can help us, let's say. Would you mind having a private conversation with me? Take these men with us, but you must promise me no harming, no killing. I promise it will be mutually beneficial.
Lillian. In the back of your head, you hear this.
Excellent. The perfect opportunity for the vengeance we have been looking for.
They say
This is not legible at all. I mean, audible,
Sorry.
not legible.
The voice said, "Excellent. This is a perfect opportunity for our vengeance. I would take this one's offer."
Yeah, I heard that.
are you giving me that scar?
Maybe.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
Deviants, they suck.
Okay.
Oh no, this scar gets that turns me. That also gives me a form potentially, but yeah. Yes. I'll agree to this.
He'll hold out a hand, kind of like a gentleman agreement, kind of like shake on it.
She shakes it back.
Splendid. I will wait for our collective acquaintance to come back. Tatiana, wait, no, I'll get to you. Who are you? And then he'll look at Creed.
Creed's just going to raise an eyebrow.
Yes, you.
Yes, me?
Come on, Creed, answer the man.
Out of character, you cut out. What was the question?
Who are you?
Oh, yeah, who are you?
Call me Creed.
Otto, you do recognize that name because he has a little bit of notoriety.
Notoriety. Interesting. Why notoriety?
Great. Go ahead and explain to them why they might know you a bit.
Well, first thing first, he's Carthian. So,
Oh, yes, he'd know you very well.
yes. He's a Carthian. Bit of a mix of a scientist, a devotion expert, as it was.
What would he
Oh.
know of your political actions? Like, have you done any like rallies? Have you burned buildings or other barbaric things?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Um,
Voiced any loud opinions in court?
He mainly actually keeps away from court. He's a bit of a drug deal. He has a side as a drug dealer of some sort.
Mm,
Um,
many
and
kindred do.
yeah, he's kept fairly away from court in the whole thing. What his view has trickled down to is a sort of anarchist might makes right
Ah.
in populist movements.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a bit more of the less needs to be settled. We need to get more, active per se
Yeah.
kind of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in terms of the Carthacian rankings, he's not super high up,
No.
but he's proven himself to be pretty good at what he does.
Mhm.
The Carthathians have been talking a little bit about bringing him up. That's all Otto knows about that particular subject.
Ah. So you are him. I expected someone. Hang on, how tall is your character?
About like 6'5"
Hmm.
Whoa!
From what I hear, I expected someone much smaller. It's nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Julius.
Have I ever heard that name before?
Yes, you have. That is.
He's very
John.
discreet.
I know. No, he is very discreet. But Creed
Might know my
knows-
name, but probably nothing else.
Creed knows one thing about this guy.
Uh,
And this is specifically something I set up. So,
Okay.
Creed, you know Otto. You don't know what he does or how high up he is in the Invictus. You only know that he is Invictus. You do know that there was a story that you were once told where Otto was lied to by his maker. And no one has ever since seen his maker in Gotham. Ever since that day.
There is like almost no emotion on his face at all.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
Creed gives a low whistle and holds out his hand.
He'll shake it. Family.
Well, it's nice to meet you. What was your character's? Mr. What, Pauline?
Mr. Julius.
Julius? Well, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Julius.
And you. We should also have a conversation in private. There is so much I want to know.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might not be such a smart idea.
Why do you say that?
Yeah,
Have I offended you, Mr. Creed?
not you yourself, but
Have I insulted you, Mr. Creed?
like I said, it ain't nothing personal with you. It's me and your type don't tend to get along.
I
And
thought your faction was for the people, Mr. Creed. I guess I was wrong.
gives a small shrug.
Creed, roll me a willpower save.
Just pure willpower.
Yep.
This is
And
great.
this man is questioning your convictions.
Yes.
So
He's
blatantly.
questioning a lot more than that.
Not only that, he's questioning something he is passionate about.
Mm.
Oh shit.
Wow.
His convictions and his competency.
Actually,
Oh,
this
he's
works
fine.
in the favor. Creed, you don't feel personally attacked, but you feel the desire to prove this man wrong.
Mm. Wait, prove him wrong in the fact that the Carthians
No, like
aren't
he
for the
said,
people?
he said, I thought you were for the people. I guess I was wrong. And then he's like, I'll show you I'm for the people.
Oh, splendid!
No, it's nothing violent, but it's a very strong urge, Creed, to be like, I want to show this guy up now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how Creed would respond.
Mm.
All right, you got me there. Fine, we'll talk. But no funny business. Deal?
Business is my specialty, and I am never funny.
Groovy.
Tatiana.
Are you forgetting something?
One second.
Who is that directed to?
Madam Tatiana.
Thank you.
I do apologize. All of this vitae in the air, it's distracting.
Nothing so distracts from common courtesy. Thank you for joining us, by the way. As always, very grateful for your vigilance.
Well, you've been requiring my assistance often now. I will respond when you call. That is it is in my best interest.
Well, Mr. Zillick, as well as you, are part of the same business at the moment. I assume him being in danger would jeopardize the whole investigation, so
You wanted something to be done, and you contacted me. That individual seems to be very good at investigating things, so yes, for your benefit, I thought to keep him from harm. But I don't think it's an appropriate conversation to have in front of guests.
Oh, don't mind me.
Is that Devora?
Mhm.
Mm. No, I don't believe I have met you before. Has he
Devora
met her
Maskin.
before?
No, he's never met her before. Devora Maskin, it's a pleasure. And she holds out her hand in a very formal.
The
Gesture.
pleasure's all mine. And then he will shake the hand.
She smiles. Mr. Zillick was very, very kind as to escort me through a very dangerous-looking alleyway back over there, and it's always nice to have a nice, strapping young man to walk you down dangerous streets these days. She gives a little smile, and then she does something very weird.
Oh, she
She
has
turned-
that.
No, she turns and she hits her chest. Her chest.
Her chests, plural.
Her chest. Well,
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you could see her horror form. Anyway,
Right.
you turn and she hits her chest, and she burps,
Mm-hmm.
and then she turns and she says, "Sorry, it must have been something I ate."
Mm-hmm. Well, I am pleased that no one of importance was harmed.
Oh, and if you were wondering what that commotion was out there, that was Miss Rachel, the patron of this establishment, taking care of some unwanted guests.
Still, what little thunder I had.
At that point, get some pictures going here. You hear some a little bit of commotion come from the back bar, and you see Rachel walk out. Very clean.
Has Otto met
She's-
her before?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's well known in inner supernatural circles that the sushi bar is one of the few places that is neutral ground where differing clans of vampires, differing clans of supernaturals, if any are known, or any sort of discussions can actually take place without hostilities because it has been deemed a neutral ground. Ironically, it's one of the only 3 areas in Gotham out of literally only 3 in all of Gotham that has been deemed neutral territory, and neutral territory has been accepted by every vampire clan and other supernatural thing known in Gotham. The Invictus, the Carthians, the Lengthia Sanctum, the Circle, the Ordo, they all honor it as neutral ground.
Miss Rachel.
Tatiana, dear, good to see you.
Forgive the mess that we caused.
Oh no, not to worry. I'll clean it up sooner or later. Here, it was their fault for doing what they did. They knew better, as did Penguin. I'm disappointed in him. I would have thought he'd know better.
I did get a warning, and I don't know from whom.
Yes, that was probably from a friend of mine. I think I know who did.
Well,
Nonetheless.
I would
And then she does the same thing. She kind of gets her gut and she turns and she gives out a loud "Brrr." Oh, pardon me, my dear. I'm sorry. Shouldn't do that in the presence of guests.
Well, I would like to know who has my personal phone number, if that is possible.
I can't tell you her name due to safety purposes, but I can tell you she is an ally of mine. I really wish I could give you her name. She is a very charming woman, but I can't tell you her name due to safety reasons.
I understand. Maybe then perhaps you could arrange a meeting with this lady.
Oh, that I can do. Most certainly.
Excellent.
And she looks over at Andrew and Lillian and she's like, and at Creed, and she's like, it's all on the house tonight. And she comes over with a mop bucket and she literally starts to just clean like nothing happened.
Yeah, Otto will command the currently dominated individual to assist in the cleaning up of the gore of his friends.
He does so.
I guess I should do the same with the other guy. He's still
See,
right.
out of character, what would have been really hilarious, Princess, is if you had the guy who had his guts spilled clean up his own guts, but no.
He's dead.
He's
Yeah,
dead.
he's dead.
He's so dead.
Oh, the broken leg guy, has he bled out yet?
Does anyone wish to give him medical attention? He's just going to leave him there, because if you leave him there for about another minute or so, he's going to die.
Otto will go over.
I want to go over too, but for completely different reasons.
All right. So the guy with the broken leg, he is unconscious, and his leg literally looks like someone took a shotgun to it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's got a lot of blood coming out of there.
Is this one salvageable? There is a reason why I can keep him alive, for now at least. Might play a good role.
And the Nanoforge blade is now really close to the guy's neck.
No. Oh, I understand the need to kill. But this might be a blessing in disguise.
His leg is destroyed. What use could he be?
We send him back injured to the place where he came. Give him a little secret gift, a response to the penguin or whoever owns him. And then when he arrives, we activate this gift. Explosive, wouldn't you think? They can't really go to the hospital. They're gangsters. And while they might own part of the police, it's too risky.
I'm going to peek over at them and be like, well, if you need the explosives,
I knew
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to you. See, we can be friends. But yes, I would like something dramatic but easily insertable. By the way, OOC, although that sounds very innuendo, it doesn't even seem to register through him at all.
It's okay. It's registered for everyone else.
Yeah, but like he doesn't even know that he said that. Well, said the innuendo.
Yeah, considering your plans, Lillian's actually going to go back to the guy that she splayed the guts all over and see if the nanomachines are trying to take it over.
Yes, actually.
This one's going to have to be disposed differently.
Oh, why?
Have you ever heard the term nanomachines?
Well, in this highly technological advanced age, yes. But
Andrew.
how does this come into play?
Just a moment. Andrew,
Yes.
the moment she says nanomachines, roll me a willpower save, please.
Nothing.
Andrew. Let me take a beat for this. I'm going to have your character walk outside. I'm going to have your character go make a phone call. Andrew will completely black out for this entire instance.
Interesting.
In his mind, he will only see a brief second go by. And if anyone asks, Andrew will say that he went out to make a quick phone call to, wrapping up some stuff from his now old job going into new job. Andrew will have no memory of this stuff.
Otto looks displeased with this response, but he doesn't do anything.
Lillian's response: I'm going to follow Andrew.
Yes.
Oh, are you
do
following?
that.
Are you following him?
I'm following.
Okay. Lillian. You follow him out back to the door. You see him walk out into the alleyway. He gets onto his phone. Can't hear anything he's saying, though. He doesn't actually appear to be saying anything.
Can I roll a perception check to hear the phone at the very least?
Yes. Go ahead and roll me what's plus composure.
Two successes. Well, 3 if you count the 10.
Do you have specialty?
No.
Then it's 2.
Not quite enough. You can hear some gargling, and the only thing you really hear is rectify.
Rectify.
That was the only word you heard.
Ooh.
After about 5 minutes, Andrew hangs up and starts to walk back inside.
I walk back in, mildly concerned.
Andrew, after you walk back into the room, you are once again within control of your character.
We'll need to have a talk later, Mr. Zillick, but for now, I'm going to need you to help me with a tourniquet.
Yeah, we're deciding to help this one after all.
They'll be of use, briefly. Mr. Creed, I assume you will be finding the appropriate item.
Yeah, it'll take me a bit to build, but I can get you something like that. Or do you want to meet back up?
I don't say this lightly, Mr. Creed. Madame Tatiana will agree with me. But trust when I say, if you provide me a very explosive experience, I, Otto, will owe you a favor.
Knowing your experience, Creed, when the Invictus says that, they don't say that lightly.
Yeah, I'm just going to let a slow whistle. Gotcha, man.
Manners, Creed. Manners.
Oh, it's all right, madam. It's fine. Would you mind helping me with this one? They need to be live if we want this to work. Oh, and Mr. Creed, I need 3 of them, not just 1.
That is within your power to do, Creed.
Yep.
Very easily, actually, now that I look at it. As for the tourniquet, you're all aiding in this, so I'll just say it auto succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not aiding.
Well, anyone who is aiding, and there's more than one person aiding, so it will auto succeed. And is there anything more?
Go back to the nanomachines.
You can go back to the nanomachines, okay? You notice now, Lillian, that the nanomachines have just stopped. And then they slowly start to crawl back to you and go back to your blade. You've never seen them do this before.
Might be because he's dead.
Well, I'm sure
Turning
that
confusion. I think that voice isn't going to do what I think it's going to do.
No one.
I distinctly heard a match.
So, after everything is all cleaned up and said and done, is there anything you all wish to do here at the full moon, or do you wish to go on and continue on with the scenes that you guys have planned?
Well, I have not had the chance to speak with Andrew, and since Creed is there, I will want to have a word with him, but not there.
Mhm.
But-
So what we can do here is, since I kind of need to go do something, since everyone here kind of needs to have a discussion with one another and do a social, Bunny, would you like to do a social and have your plans all executed out in another scene here?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Okay, so I think what we'll do then is, just for now, we'll end this scene. And we'll have you guys do all your socials in the next scene. Go ahead.
These explosives, when do they need to be delivered? So I can see what my character would do with Creed. Does he have to go and do it now?
And if you combine with Creed and use your resources to get him the supplies he needs, he can craft them within the hours.
Yeah.
Well, pretty
It's-
much what I'm planning on doing is pretty much tell him to get in the car and
No. That's okay. That can all be discussed in the social. I need to tell everyone what they get. You all faced combat. That's a beat. Congratulations. Any aspirations that were met, you guys know what they are. I trust you guys. That's fine. So I will let you guys do your social. Creed, Lillian, Andrew, Tatiana, and my other co-ST. I'll let you guys do that scene since it's a social between your characters and your characters getting to know each other. So I will go ahead and end this session for right now. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another Gotham by Night. Have a